Oh, I'm on YouTube now? Oh, hi, YouTube. Oh, hey, YouTube. YouTube's hard. Like, YouTube's hard. YouTube gets a little weird. Oh, hey, YouTube. Oh, look, I'm on YouTube. Now I'm starting to lose track.
YouTube is 9.
What's that?
YouTube is number 9.
YouTube's number 9?
8.
Wait, which one is which here? No, oh, so there's this other thing that I'm doing where you see the people from YouTube, their chat is starting to come in on my screen automatically. That's pretty cool, huh? So what am I at? I'm at 9?
8.
8? Which one am I missing?
5 on Periscope. Periscope yet?
Periscope is having an issue.
I don't have you on YouTube natively, but I do see it on the web page. The YouTube tab.
Hey everybody, if you're watching, we're just doing a test here. We're just having fun doing a test. Trying to make some stuff work here. Okay, so let's see. We are live on Twitch, Facebook, profile Facebook, Talk Nerdy to Me, Facebook, YouTube. Is it going to the page? Okay. We're on the page. And we're in the event. Okay, I'm going to try to get Instagram working here and see what the deal is. I don't know why it's having a little bit of an issue. I'm going to see if I can get who's joining us and doing some tests. Thanks for being a part of our tests. Okay, I'm going to try to get YouTube working here. Well, I'm. Here's the good news. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube, but I'm not sending it anything. Congratulations, I'm sending darkness to YouTube. Okay, so that didn't work. I know what I did with YouTube though. I gotta do one thing first.
On the web page.
What?
The YouTube tab.
No, I meant Instagram. I'm sorry. On the webpage, the thing. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, so that's kind of cool. You can on the webpage you can. No, I meant Instagram. Go to which one you want. Oh, and then go right to the. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm nerding out right now. I'm gonna give myself out of 11. I'm gonna give myself a uh, uh, a 10, a 9.5, 9.5, which still beats my record. So let's see where I'm at, and then I'm gonna go over to our office hours that you guys can kind of check out here. We'll be doing that, and we'll turn off some of these. Actually, we can just leave it on if you guys are still wanting to watch some of it. But so where are we here? It's insane what's happening right now. So okay, so we're inside of a webinar like a Zoom. That's where we're doing this, but we're sending it to the website. So that's 1, 2, Facebook page and a profile, and open a closed group, an event. So 7. YouTube and Twitch, that's 9. Periscope isn't working, but I also hadn't logged in before I did it. So I think that's what it is. And Instagram, I'm going to get a half a point because I'm sending darkness to it. Like it triggered all their APIs, everything worked, but I didn't actually because I'm not on my laptop. And I realize now that when I coded it last night, I coded it on my laptop and it's keyed to a computer. And so I just have to go back and tweak that. And then I could make that work. Okay. Well, thanks for being part of the test. For those of you who are in our webinar and over on our Facebook page, I'm going to leave that one open. There's a link if you want to get over to our webinar. It's called a crowdcast, and I'm just doing open office hours. I'm going to do some Q&A. So I'm going to start to, now that we're just broadcasting everywhere, I'm going to now turn those off. But thanks for being part of our test. So give me 1 second. So turn Twitch off, and we're turning Periscope off. And our quarantine event, we'll go ahead and leave that one there. I've got to turn a couple more things off. Just turn Instagram off. Social coach, jump over to there. Talk nerdy to me, jump over to the page. And so now, now we'll go there. Okay, so I'm still live in some of those other places, but I'm going to now give my focus, now that I was able to grab some of these things, I'm going to give my focus here to our crowdcast and help you guys out here. Okay, whoa. Hey guys. So, did IG work? Oh, they said they IG. Well, what's going on? Oh wait, I'm still on IG. I'm still. I think I just broke it again. Okay, I took some screenshots to fix how we're doing that. Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm on IG. Oh, I get a full point. I get a full point for IG. So I got 10. Stupid Periscope. Come on, Periscope. Sorry, we got and then like the whole world's on right now. So okay, am I finally off of IG? Why it's still there? It's really janky. Okay, well, here we go. No, it's back. Okay, it's back. I don't know. We'll see how it all works. Okay, open office hours. Let's answer some of your questions, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to we'll go over to ask your questions. Well, I did successfully break it. That's good. And I also didn't meet my goal of being on 11 locations in one place. So we'll see. So over here in our crowdcast, the question is, did Facebook roll out new features with Live? Okay, so when it comes to Facebook, there's a lot of stuff that is happening behind the scenes from some infrastructure perspective. What you guys have to realize is that I took over the top 10 posts for this live. Okay, let me just say, the reason people should listen to me is I'm not good at a lot of stuff. But if I want to take over the news feed, we can take over the news feed. So did it roll out new features? So what you have to understand is there is a lot that's happening behind the scenes. Okay, it's a lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes. This is to deal with infrastructure. So dealing with the infrastructure of what are we going to do, right? That now, like, all these more people are going live, more people are watching. So there's some glitches that are happening. They're upgrading some things. So there's a lot of changes that are happening. I wouldn't call them features. Now, new features within the Facebook app, like your phone, no features that way. Features related to if you go live, and if you go to facebook.com, I'll put it here in the comments on the crowdcast if you guys are watching somewhere else. Eric, if you can go over to check some of those other places that were live and maybe put the... So I'm going to give you guys the URL here. Okay, so facebook.com/live/producer. That is where I'm going to kind of show you. Oh, by the way, the pretend thing that I did worked. So it posted on YouTube for me. So that was good. Okay, so I'm going to actually show you guys this. And I'll show you while I'm live over there. Just give me a second. I'm trying to. I guarantee I'm going to get a message from Facebook after this, like, "Hey, can you not do that again? We're trying to fix the things, and you're
It looks like you're live everywhere.
you're breaking the things, and so we're confused right now about the things." Okay, so live producer. Okay, this is where you guys are going to want to be. When I'm actually live right now, but for example, new features that are rolling out is that, like, for example, I can't go into stream, so yeah, I can. Is that when you go, like, one of the new features down here for business pages that I like is you'll see auto-generated captions. So that's nice, right? So that's nice for auto-generated captions. That's one of the newest features that affects everybody. You guys don't have that button. That's the stars button. You guys do have the poll button. So I'm going to put, can you see this? Yes or no. We'll save it. And then I am going to publish the poll. Right, so I'm going to show that poll graphic. So now if you are watching on the Facebook, and you go over to try to. I do see one question over on our page. Oh wait, no, I'm in the wrong place. I was like, why is this not working? Because I'm in the wrong place. But somebody asked, are your posts getting less views? Probably. Yeah, probably. You know why? Because everybody's on all the things. Oh, okay. This is cool. So let me just go ahead and show you. I'm going to switch over here. So if you were watching on Facebook, this is pretty cool, right? Like, I want you guys to think about those. But you have to be live to see those. Why would you guys make statements like, like, that's not true? But you have to be live to see those? No, you don't. No, you don't, Susan. What happens is people don't know that there's a button that they have turned on wrong that says disable polls after my live, and that's what is set for default. And after you go live, you follow our checklist, and what you do afterwards is you change it so that everybody can still vote after you're live. So I'm gonna hit yes. Thanks for voting. So it's pretty cool. So that's one of the things. And I already know I'm going to get questions. Well, how can you do this on your phone? No. Do you guys want to know how? Oh, I already feel myself getting. I already feel myself getting sassy. Do you know how you know you can't do it on the phone? Because if you can do it on the phone, I'd be showing you on the phone. Let me see. I'm always going to go with the simplest way. So, new features, Anna, no, not on the phone, not on the mobile device. But when it comes to using Facebook Producer, yeah, lots of cool stuff, including, I believe now, I've already done that. So anyway, that's kind of cool. So yeah, new stuff coming out in the future. Um, let's show you something really nerdy. So for example, I have something called graphics. So I'm playing with those and doing graphics. And when it comes to graphics, hold on. So when it comes to graphics, I'll show you something cool that I can do. Is that I can go to, let's see, go to comments, and I can put oh, by the way, that's a new thing that I just saw. Okay, I just discovered something. If you go to polls, right? So I'm on my polls, and I was like, why isn't this working? And I wanted to like show the poll graphic or hide it. So let me hide it. When I go over to graphics here, okay, I can go to comments, and I could say, I can put different people's comments, which is nice. Okay, but here's a little bit of bug. I'm not sure that it's supposed to. Work is if I go to polls and I go to my poll and I say show poll graphic, go back to graphic, select graphic, and hit comment. Look at that. So what Facebook is doing is it will calculate the poll, and then I could use that as an overlay. Now, if you want to be super nerdy, what I do, and listen, what I'm doing right now, like this is pro level stuff, okay? Okay, this is pro level stuff. Is I can go over here and like Crowdcast, and I've set it up so that I can take it from should be able to take it from and looky there. So what I could do is I can kind of I'm just figuring this out as I'm going because like they're just building these features in, and that's kind of like a bug there. Is I could be here, and then I'm controlling it. Like what I'm doing is over here, right? It's over on this screen. But for the audience, it could come up on their it could literally come up on their screen, and then when they vote, I can then publish the results as a graphic. That's pretty cool. That's gonna be pretty cool, and that'll be pretty easy. Like once, I actually, if you want to make a note, I could like export a scene where people like on OBS or any of the other stuff can actually just import it, and it would just be there. But again, that's a little bit. So if you guys have a question, head over to the head over to that crowdcast and ask them there. I'll try to go a little bit faster with some of them. I was getting a little excited. Okay, so did Facebook roll out new features? Yes. Okay, so back over in the crowdcast. Next question. I'm not going to answer this one fully. But I want to address it because what I'd rather you do. Why are you answering their questions? Did you answer a question or did somebody else? It's probably. I think it's somebody else on the adventure team's trying to be helpful. Don't be helpful. Have them go to the crowdcast. That's where we're doing everything. Don't answer. Send them over there. Because you're answering it. Don't need you to answer it. I need you to send them over there. Delete that whole thing. Because now it starts a side conversation. I know you're trying to be helpful. It's not helpful. We have a little team chat. Because now, the dual live is taken away. Don't get me started on the thing that you guys didn't use. And everyone I've ever watched was a soup sandwich. Because nobody had their earbuds in. Nobody had their connections. And anyway. Please go in there and delete all that stuff. If they want to ask a question, they can go over here. There is a path. Follow the path. Follow the path or just eat popcorn and watch. If you want to interact, come over there. Giveaways. I'm not going to address it in detail publicly because addressing it publicly, I'm not your attorney and I'm not officially representing Facebook. Okay? So, because of that, I'm not going to address that. What I would say, Susan, is that you can go into the community standards and that's where you can check that out. What I will say is that we do giveaways. We do giveaways correctly. And all I'm saying is I see people do giveaways the wrong way. So one of the things that people do the wrong way is they give away things that have nothing to do with their business. It has nothing to do with their business. So I've seen people like they're a health coach and they're going to give away an iPad. What you're going to do is you're going to get a bunch of people that just want to win a free iPad. You're going to get a bunch of people, that just want, hey, I'm going to give away the Frozen 2. I almost said DVD. They don't do those anymore. Hey, I'm going to do that. You know what? I don't recommend you do that because people are going to share it into, some group that is, Disney Mom freebies. And then a bunch of people are going to sign up and you're going to go, oh, wow, look at how successful this is. And what you've done is you've gigantically wasted your time. So if you are going to do a giveaway, have it be a giveaway that really helps your audience. Like who it is that you're trying to help. So like right now, when we go live, not for this thing, but the other one when we go live is like we're giving away Amazon gift cards. Why? Because right now, a lot of people have to order things on Amazon. So that helps. Now, would a lot of people post, free Amazon things? No, not our audience. They're pretty good about that. But we also put it in the context of, hey, I know you guys want to upgrade gear and some of the other stuff. We have a link that you can buy. You have a link that has a lot of our stuff where if you want to know what all our gear is, here it is, and I'll give you $25 towards purchasing it. So do you see, I try to make it really relevant, Deborah? That's part of it. There is proper ways to do it, ways not to do it. I'm not going to get into all of the ways publicly. just because I'm not going to speak for Facebook and I'm not going to speak for your. Because what happened is there's what is Facebook's opinion? What is if you are involved in a company, you have. So Facebook has terms and conditions. If you represent another company, they have terms and conditions. I do them. You can do well with it. I think before you get into what word should I use and not use, make sure it's the right giveaway. Because I've just seen people, and then they pat themselves on the back because they got a lot of views, but all they did was, uh, you know, you know, get a bunch of people that wasted their time. Right. Instead of you could have done something thoughtful to really help people there. So, okay. So over in Crowdcast, the link should be, if you're watching anywhere else, the link should be in the description or in the comments to come over here. Go over to ask a question or upvote. Words to avoid in your posts so you don't jank up your algorithm. How do we explain this easily to new team members so they're not intimidated to post about their new business or promotions? Is there, well, let me say this. Do I have a list of words to avoid? Yes. Is it actual, is the algorithm looking at certain keywords? Not as much. What they're looking at, it's called natural language processing. The point of natural language processing is it's the idea that it's not just what the word is, it's the word in context. So, the word sell, okay, is the language different? So the word is sell. If I say, hey, who wants to work from their smartphone and sell supplements? Okay. Versus, my heart's broken today because, my grandparents had to sell the the piece of land that was in our family for. Okay. Sell, word sell, is context, which is then, so people want to go like, oh, if you take the word sell and instead of the E, you put it as this, then the algorithm, those people don't know what they're talking about. Well, JE, I see that you put the word share and then you put an arrow to, no, I don't do that to try to trick the algorithm. I'm doing it because it's visual and it looks like the share button and your eye looks to it. It has nothing to do with. So, if you say, how do we explain this easily? Because there's not an easy way for me to explain the algorithm to you. I mean, I could like do the code and the formula and explain the natural language. What the easy way is, talk to like you are a real human being and talk to a friend. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing right there. That's going to help you. So, the problem is that people try to write stuff. People go to write stuff and they write it like an ad. So if I'm gonna go and talk, I don't like. One of the things I love about my kids, there's many things. One of them is that they have this. I describe myself sometimes as a hopeful cynic. Like, I'm cynical, but I'm super hopeful. That's not really an oxymoron. Like, I think the two can exist. I'm a hopeful cynic. So, my kids are positive, that like they're great. They also love to just tear apart TV commercials. And they're like, who talks like that? That's not a real thing. And so the problem is that too many times, like, you write stuff like, Hey, I'm looking for 5 people to do. Who wants to, you know, you sound like a used car salesman. Because if I was inviting my friend over, not for real, but because of, you know, because of coronavirus, but post coronavirus, I wouldn't say, you know, would you like to, well, here's one word. Never use the word opportunity. Not because of the algorithm, but because the human race knows what that means now. Like, would you like to join me over for a opportunity for, hey, we're going to hang out for barbecue? I just think like the biggest tip I can give you is before you post it, say it out loud. Say it out loud. And if it sounds like, oh, I would never say that to a real person. So to try to answer that, she wanted it easy. What's an easy way? And I just gave her, I just feel like I made it more complicated. Talk like a freaking human. And I'd say on top of that, like, and yeah, there's words, and you're not going to get around it because you might have tricked it, but it's the algorithm is based on a learning machine, which means it's going through, and then it figures out, like a trick might work for a little bit, and then by the time it's shared to you, it's kind of like stock tips. All I know is that by the time you hear this stock tip, it's too late. It's the same thing. These gimmicks, they worked for 20 hours, 2 days, until the learning machine caught up, and then if you do it, it actually penalizes you. Or what you could do is you could actually base it on principles. So you do need to know that yes, there are words, but I wouldn't worry about the algorithm as much as I would worry about like humans. So, for example, for example, like I just think that when you are posting, you got to be careful that you understand who you're talking to. So what I see is I will see that somebody goes and posts, and they post a picture, usually of somebody on their teammate that got a promotion, and it's a picture of them, and it starts out with "OMG, I'm so proud of this person." And there's two things. One is this picture is so bedazzled. Why is there's so much going on in this picture? There's all the bedazzling. And then what happens is because they reached Diamond Platinum Pikachu Jedi level 15, let's congratulate her. Did that help your engagement? Well, I want to recognize her. I didn't say you should, I think recognition is really important. Well, it got good engagement and she was encouraged. So you're setting up a culture that they have to be thanked on Facebook. That sounds exhausting. Do you know what should motivate them? Money. That they have money. That they get to buy things. They can go on vacation. They get to get out of debt. They can finally leave that a-hole. Whatever it is, that should be their motivation. That should be enough. Now, do I think recognition is important? Yes, I do. But instead of bedazzling your graphic, and instead of using language that doesn't make sense to anybody else, and it got good engagement. Okay, take out all the people that aren't on your team, and it didn't get good engagement. Well, somebody might be interested. No, they're not. Not in that. Okay. So how would I recognize that person? Right. So again, how do we explain this easily? Like, that stuff doesn't work. You know what would be good though? Is to say, hey, I am so proud, you know, I'm so proud of this girl right here because she, has been knocked down in life. She had the courage to go after a dream, and she just, you know, like, it's not about, like, do I think ranks are important? I think ranks, I mean, number one, we have to realize they're all made up. Like, they're made up. Uh, but I mean, so much is made up. Like, um, so it's made up, but they're good markers. It shouldn't be the mission, but it's good markers along the way. So is it that she is, she reached, orange fluffy bunny level? That doesn't mean anything to anybody except the small group. So you know what? Then put it in the small group that understands that language. But if it's going to be for everybody else, why don't you tell her story? Because do you know what's better than recognition? Honor. I would honor her. What is it that you love about her? What difficulty did she accomplish? And who cares about what level it is? What you care about in that is be real and say, hey, she cried every day, right? Let me share her story. But don't share her story. Take a snippet and put it out there about how she would cry. She spent 15 minutes before going into work every day crying because she had to drop her kids off. And that's going to connect to somebody. Or you can just bedazzle a post and just say, hey, congratulations, Pikachu. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. Okay, let's keep going here and answer some more questions. So specifically as it relates to the social five, how does the social five work towards like Instagram? Okay, so if you don't know what the social five is, if you're here in the crowdcast or webinar, there's a green button that says take the social five. If you guys are on our Facebook page, you can say social five in the comments. If you are other places, that won't work. Okay. But how does it work for Instagram? It's the same way, right? So as it would work for Instagram, I would just do something like, I'm going to engage with my news feed. Okay. So that's re-engagement. Then what do? I go to reply, right? This is where your reply is. Then you go to post, right? So then I'm in post. Then I'm in messaging, right? It's just like you can follow the same process. Okay. You can follow the same process. Okay. There. So yesterday we discussed in our open office hours that, like, you can do your Facebook timeline. That is what you scroll. Then maybe the next day or the next cycle, you go to what is on your stories. That is what you swipe. And then you could go to Instagram and you could do it this way. So the same Social 5 challenge applies to all of that. Next question. I just started Social Coach. Would you recommend, with the current situation, that I work through those units or pivot and focus on what you're teaching now and go back to the units? Okay, so if you are new to us, what I always say, and again, please, any questions, I know it gets tempting to put them in the chat. You just got to get in the habit of putting it in there because one, this is what we do together. We got to learn togetherness. And it throws me way the hell off. And then I get irritated. And then I go, I could be designing an app and make $1 billion. I'm going to go do that. What I always say is, because what I found is that there'd be a percentage of our people, of our people that always were jumping in and leaving a comment that says, I'm watching the replay, sorry, I'm behind. Nobody's ever behind. If I'm your coach, you're not behind. What you do is you jump in where we are now, and then as you have time, you can go back to the stuff. What I'm always going to do is coach you up on the most important things to do right now. So if you go and watch another unit that's, let's say, on starting a blog or a YouTube channel, I would not do that right now. Now is the worst time to do some of that. When I put out that coaching, that was over this, like, here's what we do over the summer. It's there so you can reference it if you have questions, but the best thing to do is like to be where we are now, because where we are now is the best, is the stuff that you're going to have the biggest advantage. So realize, like, I'm not just trying to give you information, right? Because I'm not trying to just teach you. I'm trying to coach you. So what I'm going to do a lot of times is, if you say, hey, teach me how to do this, I'm going to say, I'm not going to teach you how to do that, because you shouldn't be doing that right now. You should be doing this. And if you want just me to do whatever you want, then like you should go find somebody that will do that and just teach you the buttons. I'm going to teach you which ones matter and what you need to do now that you're going to have the biggest impact, which is why I'm doing the Social 5 challenge. And the people that are doing it, in fact, I haven't asked you guys yet. Those of you guys who are doing Social 5, like, it's going pretty crazy good, huh? Yeah, because that will matter. But if you go back to a unit, you might be into something that, I mean, it would help you, but it's not going to. Like my job as a coach often is I'm trying to give you a huge advantage. I'm trying to give you an advantage. And so if I want you to win and give you that advantage, then there'll be hacks that I tell you, like, sometimes there'll be something with stories. It was like, hey, you guys, for about 6 weeks, you have an advantage. So I want you on that, and then you can go back to stuff, right? Make sense? I also know that I don't ever, you guys also need to know that I don't do yes and no questions very well. You know why? Because I don't want you guys, and honestly, I don't really know what other people always tell me, like, we get really nice. Some people have written some really nice things lately. And so I don't really know what other people do because I don't have time, to figure out what they do. But so many times, what I'll see is that when they want to answer your questions, they're going to answer yes and no because they want you to become dependent on them. Like they're Moses, and it has to, like, I don't care about that. The reason I don't answer yes and no questions and I give you a lot of background is because I want to teach you to think for yourself, challenge ideas, and then when something changes, you can figure out, because I'm not going to always be in your life. Now, what's going to happen is some people are going to say to that, like, but I don't have time. I just need we've had people say, I need the Cliff Notes version. It's not that kind of coaching. Like you're used to just gimmicks and stuff, and the problem is you don't have time because you're trying 5 different things and none of them are working. What I'll tell you is that one of my goals in coaching is that whatever time I give you that it requires of you to do something, I usually will give you something that will save you equal or more of that time. Think about what's happening with the Social 5 right now. Stacy just said it here in the comments over in Crowdcast that there's people that started this 5 days ago who are like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't have time to do social media. And now they're like, well, it's fun again. I'm getting results and I don't spend that much time on my phone. Yeah. So, um, sorry, not sorry. Student asks, what is the secret to how to share an event to your story? Well, it's not that big of a secret. I'll do it for you. So I'm doing this. We're doing this event. I think a lot of you guys are a part of it, and it is. It's called the social quarantine. And honestly, like we didn't really even know a lot of like what it was going to be. All we know is that the world was freaking out, and so we were just like, we're just gonna, you know, we're just gonna jump in and try to help people, and we're going to do it through the months of March so that we can figure out like we change some of our pricing in coaching, we unlock some stuff, we stop doing some stuff, we're pivoting to try to help the most number of people. So we created this event. Events can be really, really great. They can be really effective. So I'm going to go to ours. Again, it's called the social quarantine. There's about 2,100 people in it right now, so that's really great. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go to that share button. So go to the share button, and when I share it, you will see that it says your story. And then now it is an event that is interactive that then I'm going to maybe add some stuff to. Make it a little bit better, center it. And then like I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna just put it right down here so it kind of like looks like that. And then I'm gonna like win with, you know, I'll write some topic here. Color. Branded more of us here. So hang out and help. Now, a couple things that I'm thinking in my head as this is all going on is I also have to realize that on Facebook, it is going to, I have to realize that my profile picture is going to be like overlaid. So even trying to center it, I'm going to probably move it over to here. And why am I doing that? I'm doing that because like my big head's going to be over there. So I'm going to probably do it this way. And I'm just going to be creative. If I want to use an emoji, I'm not going to use it in that way. have to realize, like, I just play around right now.